When you go from 20,000 to 10,000 and then you go to 12, you know there's something artificial. They're taking something.
They want to manipulate the data to make us think that the problem is different from what it is. They want to talk about the fight that they want to have because this is lawyers doing lawyer shit, not public health people doing public health. 2018, we said, okay, we're just going to include everybody no matter how much data you have on these kids. So if you've only got IQ data on 30% of your kids, we're going to include that data. So now we have a really big piece. All up here is stuff that we just don't have data for. So what you can definitely say about this data set is that it isn't very good for comparing year to year, because we now include a bunch of sites that aren't doing a lot of assessments. They're probably doing assessments on the 30% of the kids who have the most need for services. Not having the other 70% of kids, you're making it so that it's not comparable from year to year, which is absolutely 100% known by everyone who works on this report. They know that they have changed these criteria from year to year, and that makes it so that it's not useful for comparing year to year. If we want to know whether increasing diagnostic criteria has made it so that we have way more kids who are like level 1 and level 2, which are the less severe forms of autism, and just look at that, and we've done those analyses, and we see diagnosis for level 1 and level 2 has increased much faster than diagnosis for level 3. There is this one data set where you can actually say that the number of kids with intellectual disability has been going up, not down, and so it must not be diagnostic criteria. It must be something happening to these kids. It's just a lawyer lawyering. It's a lawyer finding the data set that works best for him. Saying true things that make people believe fake things because you're trying to win a battle in court. And that is just how RFK Jr. thinks about this and all the people around him. And winning that case is the thing that matters, because that is what sort of defines success in your world if you are a lawyer. Winning the case defines success. Telling the truth does not define success. There's even data in these reports that indicate that it's an increase in diagnosis rather than an increase in profound intellectual disability. You can see that the percentage of kids that have intellectual disability are fairly consistent across states, but as the prevalence goes up, the percentage of kids that have an IQ above 70 is what's increasing. There's so much data that indicates this, and it is all ignored in favor of this one terrible metric that we know you can't compare across years. The number of people who are being included in the autism spectrum diagnosis has gone up. We know this from the data. We know this through common sense. The frustrating thing is the amount of time it took me to get to the bottom of the weird thing that happened to the data that accounts for this, the one data set that can be portrayed as showing that it has nothing to do with the expansion of diagnostic criteria. If you look at that one, then it's clear that there must be something else going on. They must be taking something. This is just lawyer bullshit by people who are supposed to be doing public health. Are you f***ing kidding me? You know how long it took me to get to the bottom of this? How many reports there are that I have to figure out? This is lawyer bullshit.